What's up, ladies and gentlemen, it's Michael here and welcome to another Fallout 4 E3 trailer discussion on Fudge Muppet. In this video I'd like to share my thoughts with you on the V.A.T.S system seen within the trailer and how it's different from anything we've ever seen before. So starting off, the very first thing that we see is that V.A.T.S doesn't actually stop the game entirely, which is brand new to Fallout and honestly, in my opinion, a very nice touch. As much fun as it was to completely pause the battlefield mid-combat, it was a bit unrealistic, and even though V.A.T.S is no longer stagnant, the speed at which enemies do move in V.A.T.S is quite slow. If we look at these mole rats here, we can tell that enemies move slow enough for V.A.T.S to still be extremely useful, but also still remind you that you live in a very real and moving world. I also think that whilst it slows everything down, it does keep the urgency of battle alive. For example, if you're being overwhelmed and you panic, you can't just pause the game, go get a glass of water, and come back to Fallout carefully thinking through how on earth you're going to survive your attackers. You're forced into acting faster, although obviously not too fast, and I think by keeping this sense of urgency, the game is going to feel a lot more rewarding. Remember that V.A.T.S is an assisted targeting system, not a pause the world and cheat system. Also within V.A.T.S we see a few curious new features. For example, we have this crit bar here that says execute critical below it, and we think it's safe to say that this feature here is a bar that you fill up to use critical hits. Now when we use a critical hit in V.A.T.S, this little icon of the Vault Boy holding two pistols pops up and a cinematic kill occurs. Now this is quite a new method of critical hit, and I'd assume it means critical hits are no longer based off chance. However, incentive still exists to invest in the luck attribute at the start of the game, because as it says, this is responsible for the recharge rate of critical hits. So yeah, it's confirmed. You have a critical hit recharge bar, and you can choose to execute these critical hits within V.A.T.S. It does bring up the question of what is happening with sneak attacks. Are they all still critical hits? We'll have to wait and see. Also, I want to bring up that the V.A.T.S system is now a lot friendlier for melee characters, perhaps. As we can guess from this beautiful baseball bat strike, you seem to be able to choose body parts for V.A.T.S melee attacks, instead of just swinging aimlessly in slow motion towards the direction of your attacker. I mean, surely you can do more than just headshot with melee in V.A.T.S, as fun as that is. The other option that I believe it could be is that each weapon has a unique attack in V.A.T.S that will look fantastic, but of course therefore limit body part choice with melee in V.A.T.S. For example, with the bat, the strike uses a sort of baseball swing technique. This scene also shows off the physics being implemented into Fallout 4 and just how rewarding V.A.T.S will finally feel for melee character builds. We will be making plenty of Fallout 4 character builds upon the game's release, so if that interests you, especially if you love role-playing, remember to subscribe. Finally, the last interesting thing we see in the new V.A.T.S system is that this Raider scum here has a level. We haven't had leveled characters before in Fallout, and you can actually use V.A.T.S to see his damage threshold and other stats. And at first I thought this was a new feature. Now whilst the whole level thing is, after looking through other instances of V.A.T.S in the trailer, for example here with the mole rats, these enemy stats and levels aren't shown. My guess then is that V.A.T.S doesn't show you the damage threshold of your enemies and whatnot, but rather that the example of the Raider scum occurred due to a perk such as Living Anatomy. And that wraps up this discussion, analysis, whatever you want to call it, on the altered V.A.T.S system of Fallout 4. At Fudge Muppet, we're both loving the changes to this feature and have nothing negative to say. However, we'd love to hear from you guys, so tell us what you think in the comments below. Also, remember to subscribe if you haven't already for Fallout 4 updates, analysis, and discussion that comes to you very quickly when it's brand new or a hot topic within the Fallout community. My name is Michael, and Scott and I will see you soon.